Christian, talk about the ebb and flow of this game. Obviously, starts out high, you go down a couple goals, and it was there to win.
Yeah, I felt like we had a good start to the match. Very intense, full energy, ready to rock, ready to get going, to put our last result past us. And unfortunately, we gave up two goals that were really, well, in my opinion, against the run of play. And we felt like it was more on us than how good they were. Um, and that's been the storyline of the last two games. We've conceded 3 goals in the last 2 games, 3 goals in each game in the last 2 games, and that makes it difficult to win games. and at home, the reality is you can't go down like that, and you can't rely on your offense to score 3 goals and put yourself out of a tough position every game.
What adjustments did you need to make when you saw that they were coming out with 5 in the back?
We felt like the pockets were gonna be much more wide open. When they play with a left wing back and a right wing back, it makes them have to run a lot more down the wing. So Saad and Nuhu would have a lot of time and space. But obviously we trained as if they were going to run a 4-4-2 like they did last game, and but they had similar characteristics, with Gil playing on the right center mid spot and playing with two forwards. Interesting lineup, but it was effective for them. They scored some nice goals, and on our end, we felt like we were decent in the attack and not so good in the back.
With the run of form the last couple home games, is it something that could be positive of getting out on the road together and solidifying together against RSL on Wednesday?
Yeah, we know it's going to be a tough challenge in altitude against a team that does a really good job at home. It's going to be a difficult match, nonetheless, missing guys. But now it's time to regroup and bring the team together and get a good road result. We know that it is very tough to do so, and we're going to have to be solid defensively. We can't let that game get out of hand. And lately we have let the game go, back and forth, and that's really not our style.
What did they do on the offensive side that made it so difficult?
Some runs, in the back. Their two forwards spin our center backs really well. Strong guys that play off each other extremely well. They've got some quality. They've got some really good players on their team. And then defensively, they were pretty solid. They had 5 in the back. They pushed guys forward for the attack and then dropped really low in a low block. So. That's typical of Bruce, just a well-organized group, and it was a tough team to play against.
Are you in a position where you can afford to take positives from some things in this game, or are you more worried about just dropping the points and getting 1 point in the last 3 home games?
I've always been a positive guy. It's really unfortunate that we haven't gotten the results in the last 2 games. But we've created a lot of chances. We've scored 2 goals in Kansas City. We should have scored 3 or 4. In Kansas City, we should have scored 3 or 4 or even 5 in this game. And so the important thing is we're creating chances, and we're keeping ourselves in the game because of the chances that we're creating. And unfortunately, on the negative side, we dig ourselves in a hole, and that's difficult. You can't sustain that each and every game. And obviously at home, when it's a little bit easier to play through the lines for some reason or to create attacks, yeah, it's great, and we can probably get back into the game. But we want to be on the front foot, and defensively, that's where it's been our Achilles heel in the last 2 games. We're giving up 2-3 goals, and it puts a lot of pressure on the offense, and if we can't score those goals. On the other end, it puts a lot of pressure on the defense. So we got to work as a team and figure that out and not do so. But in the end, yeah, like you look at all the chances we created, we should have scored 5 today.
As someone who's kind of tasked with controlling the tempo Is it frustrating that the games have, like a game like today didn't ever seem like it settled down and it was kind of this kind of track meet in a lot of ways?
Yeah, it's frustrating because a lot of the running boils down to that. If we lose the ball in a bad position, I'm having to run back and try to put out any fires, and it's really frustrating because then you try to go into the attack and support the guys up top, and all of a sudden you're finding yourself running back. So, yes, of course, disappointing, frustrated that we can't really control the tempo, especially at home. We'll probably see a much slower game against RSL, but at home we should be the one dictating tempo. We should not let the game get out of hand. The game, I think, for us has always been more controlled over the past few years, and that's something that we need to get back to.